is. It's the end of an era,
It
but
really
it's.
is.
I am nervous that JJ may not stick to landing. But we'll see what happens, man. I don't know.
All right, well, let's hit record and let's talk about this. Let's get into it. Ready?
Let's
Boom.
let's go.
One, two, three, hit it. All right.
You might have a few extra seconds, but we good.
So I always I'm doing my thing, moving it around every time anyway. So
Yeah, you do. You
it
always
really
keep it super
doesn't matter.
interesting. When it comes out, I'm always like, let me see what he's doing up there. So I'm always
That's the
surprised.
music, people. That's what you're hearing, even though I'm probably editing it out my voice anyways. What it do, my brother? How you doing?
What's up, man? What's up, man? We are back in the house again. It's been a hot second, but I have missed the podcast. I've seen a lot
Same.
of content and material coming out. I'm happy to be talking to my brother once again. How are you doing, man? What's going on in Cali? What's going on in life? What's happening
Ah
with you?
man, well, Los Angeles is on fire.
Damn.
You know what I mean, but other than that, I'm good, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful. In fact, work is good. The fam is good. My son is turning into a little Peter Parker. Soon he'll be making web shooters and swinging and saving the city. I'm sure of it. My
I'm telling
youngest,
you,
yeah,
bro.
my youngest is like manifesting. He's like a photographer now. He's going around with his toy camera. He's taking pictures of things. He's directing,
Wow.
action scenes. Yeah, it's fantastic, man. Everything I couldn't complain even if I tried. Um, so yeah, man.
That's
Except for the city being on fire and global warming being a catastrophic horizon from which there is no escape. Besides that, everything's great.
Yeah, that shit is crazy in terms of that whole LA thing, or just in general, man. Just out there, it's just interesting. But as you said, I mean, every city or every place that you live is always gonna have some level of something. Some people have to deal with hurricanes. Some people have to deal with,
Yeah,
all types of different weather situations. So I get it.
racism.
Well, that's a weather pattern that never changes. It keeps it going. And on that particular note, now we'll jump in here in a second. But in terms of myself, everything is good. Work has
Good.
been real busy
Good to
for
hear.
me, like super busy. Kind of still transitioning into some things. It's been a very interesting fourth quarter. It's a very interesting marketplace out there as it pertains to candidates and projects and things like that. It's super weird. Like the good thing about the market is that it's good. Like
Okay.
for jobs and projects and things like now. In fact, it's outstanding.
Okay.
The bad thing about the market is that it's good and there's a lot of jobs and projects and things are outstanding.
Yeah, I know
So
that's
that
right.
means just the stability of people and stuff like that is just extremely volatile in the marketplace right now. So it has been, we've had some victories, had some losses, but overall, there's no fighting us. We continue to keep it pushing always and forever. So on that note, bro,
Yeah,
you want to go
man.
ahead and jump into all the good things it is. We come from bad news.
Yes, yes, let's do it. Let's fend away the angst of this capitalistic malaise that we have to occupy. Oh my God. What a fucking system that we have to raise and survive and provide for these children with. It's just unbelievable. Yes, what is the pop culture sphere? What can it provide for us that we can dive into
Yeah.
today? Let's
All
talk
right,
about
cool.
it.
But let's jump into it. So, people on Facebook, we want to say hello and introduce ourselves to you as we do. We're gentlemen. We introduce ourselves
That's
before
right.
we get into what we have to
Pleased to
do.
meet you.
The people that listen to us on a regular basis, on a weekly basis, thank you so much for your support. Welcome to episode 81. If we come from bad news,
It's a fact.
I am Al. That is my brother Nyaze Vincent. We are each other's co hosts. This week, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to talk music, life, culture, and everything in between from the perspective of two brothers doing what we do. So let's jump into the trending topics. We call the trending topics the bottom line. The bottom line represents the people who reside at the bottom of Hampton Roads. Their opinions, their lifestyle, everything about them is authentic. And we're going to be in that same vein as we cover our trending topics. Let's get it. First trending
Got to.
topic. This is kind of more of a mention, but I had to mention it because I was there not too long ago and I just think it's cool.
Mm.
The Democratic debate is headed to Tyler Perry Studios. If you guys remember last episode, I had an opportunity to take my family or a portion of my family out to Tyler Perry Studios, and we witnessed Judge Lynn Toler taping divorce court and all that good stuff. Well, we had a chance to walk that historic campus, got a chance to see all the different buildings that are named after different people that influenced Tyler Perry throughout his life: Spike Lee, Halle Berry, Oprah Winfrey, different things like that. It's an outstanding campus and a lot going on. And apparently, there's going to be some debates, at least from the Democratic Party,
Makes
there
sense.
on campus.
I
This
like
is a
that.
big deal, man.
Yeah, I like that.
We've got the first black luxurious, beautiful film studio, and they're going to be putting basically a global eye onto that. In addition to all of the wonderful things that Tyler already does. Your thoughts on that, man?
It's all
Tyler's
coming. It's all coming together, man. Look, I can't wait for the day when conspiracy theorists hypothesize about the global African American elitist conspiracy, which controls the entertainment industry, and that you can't get anywhere unless you know a nigger, and politics is controlled by black people, and Jay Z runs the new Illuminati. I mean, I love all this. I like black privilege. I am an elitist. I am a man for the people, but not of the people. All of that shit. I I want black people to exert their influence on the world as dramatically and asymmetrically as they possibly can. And I
Facts.
love to be pandered to. I love when I think people when politicians pander to you, it's the only form of currency that you can actually be sure that they give a shit about like because nobody passes laws anymore. Nobody passes laws, so forget about that. Instead, all we do now is legislate through the court of public opinion. So the best you're gonna get is somebody who will go on TV and say the words that you want them to say. So I am in favor of the Democratic candidates showing up to Tyler Perry's studio and showing us all the goddamn hot sauce in their bag, all of it.
That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to just him continue to expand that. I'm looking forward. There's a lot of projects coming out, the Oval Office, all kinds of stuff. I think there's going to be more events and things going on there. So shout out to Tyler, man. Just
yes.
continuing to be that beacon of inspiration for everybody. And I'm looking forward to going back out there. And if you have not had a chance, even if you don't have business there, just go by there. It's just magnificent. You can still kind of, there's a big turnstile there, so you can kind of come in and out. They know y'all in there just lurking. It's all good. Go 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 see that magnificent place. It's
Yes,
worth your time. All
I
right,
love it.
moving along here. There was some issues with Bed Bath and Beyond, and we're gonna file this under, hey, we're sensitive. So, Bed Bath and Beyond basically removed some pumpkins. You know how you go into the different, stores around Halloween and close to Halloween, everything like that. You'll see pumpkins that are going to be, painted and stuff. Well, apparently they painted some black pumpkins in terms of that. I don't think they were going, black people, but I've seen, Halloween pumpkins that were painted black and stuff before. It's not something unusual. However, in this particular day and time, people who are the same hue as us got in their feelings a little bit and felt like that was a little too close to blackface for their comfort. So Bed Bath & Beyond removed those, and some people, were not happy about that. I say it, and again, I filed this under, hey, we sensitive.
Yeah. Wow, that's a good one. We can almost have a whole segment about too is it are you too sensitive or not? We should talk about that. This is a good idea. This is a good idea. We've struck something here. But
Let's go.
but yeah, my feeling on this is that first of all, I can't remember any blackface pumpkins. But
I've
I
seen
can
black pumpkins.
I can accept that it's a thing that has happened. But in terms of how like my trigger system works, you got to actually put face on a black face on a face
Right,
for
right,
me
right.
to consider it blackface. Like black on anything else is just paint.
Right, and that's
It's
how I looked at it. Like, it's
yeah,
just
just
paint.
it's something magical to happen when you put the blackness on a white person's face that
Right.
transforms it into fuck that shit. But other than that, yeah, I don't give a fuck. This sounds like yeah, we're being very sensitive, extremely sensitive about this.
We are being sensitive. And you know what?
Very
I
sensitive
look at it
about
as like
this.
this. We deserve to be sensitive because this world, for the most part, is really not sensitive to the things that trigger us as a whole.
That's
We are
right.
many times it is minimized, it is
Yes.
looked over, it is glossed over. And so if we get an opportunity every now and then to flex our muscles, even if it is a little petty, even if it's kind of like, okay, really,
Hey, hey,
I don't
hey,
care.
listen,
We're
I'm
sensitive
with
and
you.
y'all just take it.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I like that. I like that. And I'll go one further. It's like, look, this is how a culture is the manifestation of whatever thing you think is gonna make you feel comfortable
Right.
internally, right? So for white people, they living in their most comfortable life.
Every day.
So if what we that's the liberation for black people looks like us going like, hey man, uh, get your pumpkin spice latte blackface out of my goddamn
There you
vicinity.
go.
You know what I mean? So
Listen,
look,
listen.
it
We're
is what
gonna
it is.
flex what little power
Yes,
that we
that's
have.
right.
We're sensitive.
We're
All right,
sensitive. That's right.
moving along. That's the bottom line on that one. That one made me chuckle. I had to
That's
mention
good.
that. This
That's good.
one, we're gonna maybe kind of put this under. Let me know if you've heard this story before.
Mm,
Felicity Huffman, which was one of the mothers
we
that
love.
was convicted in the college admissions scandal, where they basically paid for their children to be admitted into very prestigious
That's
universities
right.
under false pretenses.
Concerned parents.
Well, Felicity was released early, I think. And again, I do not have the full article in front of me, but let's just say,
Sounds about right.
hypothetically speaking, let's say, hypothetically speaking, she was given a year of time in terms of her sentence, and she probably did about a month. So,
Yeah, and it wasn't a year. To be clear, it wasn't a year. It was just a couple of months. It was a
yeah, it was nothing.
yeah.
So, in addition to the time that she got being significantly low in comparison to other parents in different situations who have gotten 30 and 40 years worth of time,
Yeah.
she not only had a reduced sentence, but she also got out early of the reduced sentence. So, this is basically a slap on the wrist, a little bit of public ridicule, and we all go about life. Stop me when you heard this story before. Your thoughts, sir?
I feel like one I keep the same energy when it comes to the criminal justice system. I believe in a compassionate criminal justice system. You gotta like rape babies for me to be like kill that nigga. Treat you know what I'm saying?
Gotta go extreme. You
You
gotta go
gotta go
extreme.
all the way to the dark side. Anything that's just like property, anything that's just like property and shit or just money, I feel like that's or hurting yourself. I feel like all these things are things, and so she did a financial crime, but
Pretty much. Yeah,
yeah, so I'm like,
moral, financial,
yeah, you know what I mean. But like, I feel like it's stretching it to be like, okay. Anyways, my point is that I feel like the it is appropriate sentence for this type of crime, but I do feel like any motherfucker that applied for a anybody who applied for the same school she did that year and got turned down should be able
should
to sue her
automatically get
ass.
in.
Oh, no, I was gonna
Yep.
say she should be
And
able to sue her ass. She had to sue her and her family, and should be able
okay.
to get monetary damages. Like I don't think it should be a criminal justice thing. I think it should be a civil crime,
Mm,
in that you
I'm all
deprive
right
me
with
of
that.
opportunity and
Yep.
of an advantage. So I feel like I should be able to sue you, yes, because you took my spot.
I like how you
You know what I
thinking.
mean?
I like where you're going with
But
that. I
prison,
like
no, I don't think prison is the right way. I think money should be answered with money.
I agree because you
Yeah,
did take away opportunities from other people,
yeah.
and I feel like different students should not only be able to sue them. I think they also should be able to hold the university liable.
Bam,
So no,
boom, even
I
better,
like
even more so. They
yeah,
should be able to
yeah.
sue the university and be like, I didn't get in because of
Yeah.
y'all
You
fucking crazy shit.
discriminate. Yeah. You
Yeah,
discriminated against me and you let that person in. That
yeah.
person was
You had
qualified and
these
I can
people in
prove
here.
it.
You had these
Where's
people in
my
here
money?
taking bribes. You had these people in here
Yeah.
literally taking bribes. So yeah, all of
Yeah.
that.
I'm with you. Yeah. So the bottom line on that is let us know when you've heard this story
I
before.
like
It is
this.
what it is. But we do encourage anybody involved with that. Hey, talk to your lawyer. See if there's some
See if there's
additional
some
things that you
opportunity,
can
man.
go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah, see what's up. I think Yaz's is a very good point. All right, last one in the trending topics. Then we got to kind of move on to the main ones. The NFL payments for concussions coming up short.
Mm.
I put an article out on our Facebook page. A lot of people definitely reacted to that, and I'll just kind of overview it real quick. Not too long ago, the NFL was basically, it came out in court that they had to pay out billions of dollars, or at least a billion or so, a lot
Yeah.
of money,
Yeah.
to a lot of former and maybe even current NFL players that basically had concussion symptoms. I'm sorry,
Symptoms. Yeah.
as as
Damn,
as a
fucked up.
result of playing a very dangerous sport that they do. A
Facts.
lot of times, basically, the real facts behind the NFL is that many of these players do not get long-term care
Yeah.
after they leave the game. Yeah,
Which
you're
which careers? We're
superstar.
talking careers 3 to 5 years too, guys. We're not talking like long
Right,
careers.
right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Right.
we're talking about a 3 to 5 year gap in window.
Yeah.
Now, again, yeah, your big superstars, of course, yes, they get paid handsomely. They make tons of money. And even the ones that aren't superstars, they make decent money. But however, there's tiers to everything.
Yeah.
Everybody's not a superstar. I promise you, there's way more players in the league that are just average to above average than there are the elite players that we see that make the huge sums of money.
That's right.
So, having said all that, a lot of times when these gentlemen leave the game, they have a lot of symptoms. They've got concussions, they've got body issues, things like that. So they fought and got the NFL to be able to kind of take care of them in terms of from the concussion standpoint and provide some sort of long-term care of some sort. And the NFL basically started shelling out that money. But in true fashion, other corporate interests that were involved in getting these gentlemen these payouts took their percentages and cuts. And some of these particular NFL players ended up not only with the short end of the stick, but no stick at all, which I think is just a travesty because it's like, let's say, for instance, somebody was supposed to get $100,000. I mean, again, they should be getting a lot more than that. But anyway, let's say it's $100,000. Well, half of that is for this and that, and
Yeah.
then the lawyer take this and that. And so they look up, they got 15 grand.
Right.
Like,
Sound like
like,
goddamn record business.
yeah, basically it's crazy. So I just think it's messed up what we're doing to our gladiators in terms of that. But your thoughts on that, sir?
Well, I love the sports. Uh,
I know you're into them every
I
Sunday.
love the balls. Um, so I mean, listen, guys, if you've been brainwashed and indoctrinated into to watching football, like so many people, that's great. I have no problem with that. Uh, I
What?
enjoy the halftime game during Super Bowl. I enjoy the energy and the passion which is generated. I like to see how happy it makes all of you guys. But
There you
if you
go.
put your child into football practice and watch him get repeatedly bulldozed by larger children
Yeah.
over and over again because you hope one day it will generate income that maybe your family be better off or whatever. Uh, First of all, I admire your ruthlessness, and two, you are a fucking terrible parent. How can anyone put their child in football knowing, like,
Yeah.
conclusive science that, all right, he might be rich, but he's definitely going to be dumb.
Well, yeah, there's definitely, yeah, it's a fine line, and you and I have kind
I
of touched
can't
on
do
this
it.
before. Yeah, we touched on it before, and I even was concerned about that even when my kids played football. Trust me, it was at the top of my mind. But it's and
But
you and
we
I.
didn't even know back. I didn't even know the shit back then. When you guys, look, when you were
Oh,
playing, throwing the
I know.
ball around and playing football with the kids back when they were kids, I didn't fucking know. I'm not judging you. I didn't have information back then. I've only become aware of this shit in the last 5 years. You know, and thank God, my nephews are all intelligent, upright men. Their brain, their marbles didn't get rattled too hard. But
Nah, they're
what we're
good.
talking about is like past being a kid, also going into like college level and professional level, the type of beating these guys will have to take, even still, even though it's become totally like
Oh yeah,
pussified
they
recently,
still they
they
still
still
it's
take,
still a
yeah,
very violent
yeah,
sport.
they weakened,
Make no mistake.
they've wimpified it quite a bit, but like they still, it's still
Yes.
brutal, yeah. So I'm just like, I just question the whole like, why wouldn't you want your kid instead to become a nerd and play like League of Legends or something and win $7 million being a gaming geek? I just think there are other opportunities out there now. That's
There's
all.
other ways in order, yeah, there's other ways in order to get that money, but you
Yeah.
know how it is, man. It's the same thing we talked about when we talked about Jay-Z contributing and football as a whole. I mean, it's an escape route for a lot of people.
Yeah.
They look at it as a way to improve their circumstances, even at the risk of potentially hurting themselves in the long run physically.
Well, it's like
So
it's like the
it,
lotto. It's like the lotto. Like the NFL is already an established thing. It's already a
right,
billion-dollar industry or whatever. So
right.
yeah, everybody's gonna take will risk that. But like I think it would be different if this was like a new sport. Like if somebody just launched a new sport tomorrow and was like, so there's a new ball. It's called groin ball, and the whole thing is you just run and you kick somebody in the balls, and whoever can kick them hard enough wins. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody be like, "Yo, this is fucked up shit. We're not doing this." You know, I'm not. I don't care how much money you pay me. I'm not playing
Yeah.
ball. But because we've been playing football so long that shit seems to make sense to us because they just
Yeah,
anyway.
it's crazy. It's
Yo, what
crazy.
I don't know if this is on the agenda tonight, but this is
Go ahead.
you heard about the NCAA is about to let college. Is
Oh
that what
yeah.
we talking about tonight?
We're
Because I
not,
feel like
but
that's connected. I feel like that's
we can
connected.
we
Like
can
they about to let these motherfuckers start getting
getting
money.
paid. No, we can dip into it a little bit right now.
That's
No, in
huge,
fact,
man.
Courtney, we're just talking
All
about
right,
this in
talk
the
about
car.
this. Yeah.
No,
What's your
yeah,
thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on this? How much does this change shit as a sports person?
oh, and for me and me and Courtney were just talking about this. I am 100% on board with
Okay.
these student athletes getting paid for years, for lifetimes, for generations. They have been screwing these kids. They
Yeah.
have taken their likeness, they have taken their physical abilities, their
Mm,
sweat, their hard work, and they have monetized it and called it the NCAA.
mm,
And these kids do all this work, and some of them go to the NFL and are able to receive their riches, and that's great. But there are many of these students that
mm,
do not reach the NFL level. They become coaches, they become, assistants, they become teachers, they
sure.
become scientists, they become regular people. But many of them have injuries after that game is over.
Mm,
Some of
mm,
them don't walk the same. Some of them have concussion systems. There
mm,
is no medical plan. There is no compensation. Yet, Sunday after Sunday, the NCAA fills these universities with people with jerseys on, with these kids' names and faces on them that they've
mm.
paid $50, $60 or so for. The
Crazy.
stadium holds 60,000 people in it, all paying hundreds to thousands of dollars, all to these universities. These universities have been raping
Wow.
these kids a lifetime,
So
and
why do you?
it is time to give them their money.
I'm with that. Why do you think they did it? Why after all? I mean,
Oh,
why
I'm
now?
tell you, we were talking about this. I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you why they did it.
Why?
They had to bow to political pressure. The only
Okay.
reason why this is happening is because children, I'd say more powerful people in terms of maybe senators and governors and things like that, they are to the point where they have kept hearing so many complaints and so many different unions are being formed, and it's been a bit of a revolt going on. A lot of students are talking about it. A lot of administrators are talking about it. They feel like it's just not fair. These kids are getting
Okay.
totally railroaded. So all it takes is a few politicians to start putting it together, and voila, it starts to go. And public opinion is on board with it. The students are definitely pushing it. But yeah, this is political. A
Hmm.
lot of
I wonder.
high
I wonder. I wonder
this.
also if there is some connection between the imminent national or is gambling legal now or will it soon be? Because like they're about to.
Rolling out different places in different phases
Yeah.
because Georgia's in the middle of
Like they
considering.
already passed it, but it's now just like now they're just pulling they yeah, certain places. It's not that they legalized gambling, they just made it federally. Now every state can decide for itself whether they want it or not.
Which means that it's going to go
Which
down
means it's
because
about to happen. It's about yeah, which
states
means
are not
every yeah,
giving
which
that revenue, especially
yeah,
states that,
every
that
state is
ain't
about to
really
happen.
as big, or have a biggest tourist places in LA or in Atlanta or New York. Oh yeah, they're going to get that gambling money. Trust and
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
me.
It might.
Uh,
I wonder if some of it is like because the NCAA knows that it's about to get into this gambling shit, and it's like, well, we need some cover that we're taking care of our athletes after we become grossly rich. I don't know.
More so than what they already are. Oh no,
Right.
the NCAA and everybody else is about to double dip. There's also a reason. I'll leave the topic on this. There is a reason
Mm,
that there is a football team coming to Las Vegas. It
mm,
opens up everything because once they put
mm,
that to yeah, that to me, and this is just an out theory.
mm.
Once they kind of put that football team in Las Vegas, they were telling you the gambling was coming.
Wow. That team, don't never bet on that team, y'all. Y'all, you a motherfucking fool. I'm gonna call it right now. You a motherfucking fool. You ever bet on that team? The
It will
Las
be the
Vegas,
Las
who
Vegas
knows?
Raiders.
The
The
Las
Las
Vegas, who
Vegas Raiders.
knows?
It's going to be the Las Vegas Raiders, so because
Yeah,
they're going to come from Oakland. So yeah, so that the bottom line on that whole thing is, I am happy that those kids are getting their money or going to start to get some level of something.
yeah, it's a
Give
good
them
thing.
medical benefits, give them everything, man. It's just like what you're giving some of them an education if they stay and finish it, and a meal card while y'all raking in billions. Ain't nothing right about that.
Yeah,
All
get
right,
that money.
let's move along and let's talk about this album from Kanye West, or what, or the man formerly known as Kanye West. Yeah, I'm giving it to him like that. Jesus walks again. This last day or two, Kanye West released his latest episode of the life and day in the life of Kanye West, called Jesus is King. I know, stop me when you might have heard him do a Jesus song before. I know it's a new concept for you, but apparently he's gone on a spiritual awakening or in the process of, and decided to put out some music that had no profanity, that was focused on a central theme around Jesus Christ and or God, the religious philosophies of
It's a
Christianity.
generous way to put
He
it. Very
put it,
generous.
yeah, he put out how many tracks was on the fact? I'm gonna look right
I
now
don't know,
while I'm
but it was
talking.
23 minutes
Oh,
of music
yeah,
total.
it was only like, yeah, it's only like 27, if I'm not
27,
mistaken.
sorry.
27 minutes, and it was 11 songs in total. 11, so he put out 11 songs in total, 27 minutes worth of music. And I put my initial thoughts out there as this, and I'll say it here, and then we're going to get deeper because I've
Mm-hmm.
got so many words for Kanye West.
Mm-hmm.
This was a record full of incomplete thoughts, accompanied by a choir. That is my initial thought of it. Every song, in my opinion, was a snippet. I mean, and now get me wrong, some of them were decent sounding snippets, and they had the pieces of something that might be decent in some songs, absolutely not all. But overall, it was similar to his last release. It was a scattered mess of ideas and concepts that tried to wrap around a theme, which, okay, and it felt inauthentic, it felt gimmicky, it felt rushed, it felt all over the place. I don't, and as I think one of your friends said this, and I would give them their proper credit for saying this, but they're not the only person that said it. But that was the first time I saw it. But anyway, his thoughts were, and I agree 100%. Jesus Walks was better than everything on his album, and I mean single
Yeah.
song. None
Yeah.
of these songs compared to Jesus Walks. And Jesus Walks had profanity and everything into it. The reason why Jesus Walks is way better than these is because that song had passion. That song had feeling. You understood where he was coming from. He came from a place of, you could just feel it. The words, the rhythms, everything, how it put together in terms of Jesus Walks. To this day, that song still bumps, even if somebody's not a Christian or subscribes to that, because it's just dope. And these songs were just not. Your initial thoughts, sir?
um. Yeah. Well, it's not good. I don't like it. So let's just start there. Is the I've never been so bored in the presence of greatness. Um I've never had to work myself up to listening to Kanye songs, but this is the first time I literally was fast forwarding through shit like, yep, got it, got the idea.
Yeah, you're right. I got the point. I'm
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Right,
I'm
right.
I'm I'm gonna move on. Um, I mean, wow, how do you mix uh recycling? How do you remix recycling your greatest hits in the most boring way in the most boring way possible, while also preaching at me in the most uninspired way possible, while simultaneously humble bragging about how closer you are to Jesus than Christians who've been walking this walk mad longer than you. But do tell, but
Right.
do tell, but do tell, but do tell, please preach on. Uh, and then you gonna hit me with closed on Sunday. She my Chick-fil-A. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like I mean, like on some real, like only if that's supposed to be funny, I don't even fucking know why that's funny. Why is that? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it was super corny. I mean, and let me, and I should have prefaced my comments by saying this
Unbelievable.
too. I should have prefaced it by saying I have no problem with no one going on a journey, and I'm not knocking him for if that's truly what the man is doing, and that's what's happening. Hey, yeah, good for you. Do your thing, and I hope it makes you a better person overall. However, putting that to the side, it just wasn't a good record overall. It just wasn't a good, and I don't even want to
Well, it
call it
wasn't
a
even good
body of
gospel
work.
music. Look,
Yeah, it wasn't even good. But
the
I
reason,
thought it wasn't even. It
the
was
reason Jesus,
subpar gospel.
yeah, the reason Jesus Walks is a better song is because it has tension. because it is him warring with the materialistic and the transcendent parts of his nature. So in wrestling with, being a scumbag and a saint, there's a fucking like Willie or won't he?
And that's interesting.
That's interesting. But
Yeah.
when you strip away all of the sin and it's just you telling me how fucking righteous you are, like a goddamn born again Jehovah's Witness. I mean, who wants to hear? Like everyone who converts to a new faith should take a vow of silence
For at least like a year or two,
yeah,
right?
because you're not ready. You're not ready. Of course, you want to go out and you want to convert everybody to your new religion that you found and make everybody do what you're doing. But nobody else is having that experience but you. No one else gives a fuck. We do not give a shit about this goddamn. It's like when you have a dream and that dream be like so deep and like all that shit be like, wow, this happened and that happened and that. And then you go to work and you be like, yo, let me tell you. Oh, no, not even work. Tell your wife, you go, yo, let me tell you this dream, this crazy shit happened. I think this is everything about. And you look at your wife, and your wife looks at you and be like, what the fuck? I like.
It's not hitting her the same.
Yeah, she like good for you.
She wasn't a part of it.
That's right. She looks at you. She goes, she like, good for you. That's what she says. Because that shit don't mean nothing.
That sounds interesting. Okay,
that's cool. Interesting. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Wow, that's crazy. What did you eat? What did you eat last night? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it don't mean nothing. And that is what this shit means. This means nothing. This album doesn't even mean that Kanye is a Christian. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing about it is we know that he changes gears so much. So it's just like, dude, I'm not only do
Let's
I not
check in. Let me check in.
Care.
Yeah, let me check. Exactly. Like, not even am I in doubt. I don't even give a fuck because it's like you still giving me Kanye bars, only they're just the weakest Kanye bars I've heard in a long time because now you're not even arguing.
Sunday.
I don't even understand what he. And in the context of a gospel record too, like who's your Chick-fil-A? Who she? God? Jesus?
The number one with the lemonade, man, and I'm mad because the number one is my shit. I was like, don't be messing with the number one. That's my one.
So the one. I'm about to say. So the one everyone keeps talking about is Antoine. What's his name? Antoine. Something. Fenton. I can't remember his name.
Which one? His name is something. We got
Water. The one who sings Water.
I was underwhelmed.
The one who sings Water. The one who sings Water. The one everyone likes.
The Water. Oh, that's
but his name
Antoine. Ant Clemens.
Ant Clemens. Sorry.
Ant Clemens. Now, what? And we talked about this earlier.
Yeah,
Water,
everyone loves Water.
Fantastic.
Everyone loves
Water. I wish it was longer. But you know why Water's dope? You want to know why Water's dope? Other than the fact other than the guy was really able to sing and the track was just really good and I loved everything. But you know why it was really dope? He utilized the choir. The choir, let's talk about it. The Sunday service choir, make no mistake, those are some of the baddest vocalists in the nation. Maybe the globe. Yeah. They are nice. So what I was expecting on this album was kind of a Kanye meets Sounds of Blackness type thing, to where they get together. I thought we was going to have
could have been. Wow.
Right, I thought it was going to be like a Be Optimistic.
Oh my God! Now I'm mad. Now I'm mad that is not what this nigga did because clearly that is what this nigga thinks he did.
Yeah, he does not.
He thinks he made a Sound of Blackness record. He thinks I'm positive of that.
This should have been Kanye's kind of Sound of Blackness meets Kanye type of thing. That choir is amazing. Yeah. And he used it here and there. And on the songs he kind of used it, it helped the song. And he could have still did his thing. He could have been 100% Kanye and had that choir and built, you know how Kanye can layer some nice melodies and stuff and lay it on.
That's the question.
It could have been so dope and he still could have got his message across.
But that's the question. That's the question. I think if he would have came out with the same music and different content, I might have a different impression of this record. But the fact that he's recycling the best of Kanye's production bag of tricks, and then also kind of the repping Trump in between Bible verses is kind of like.
It's weird, man.
Like, what's up with you, nigga? You know, like, and I guess the elephant in the room is, is Kanye very mentally ill, or very, very mentally ill? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the question right now is
I think we have an answer. I'm
right.
sorry.
Like
I
it's
think
not a
we
question.
have.
Nobody. I don't think anybody is going like Kanye is exactly how
Oh
I
no,
would.
that
No,
oh yeah, that dude's
no.
completely out of his mind.
Everybody is wondering like how in control is this, you know, and how aware is he of what he comes off as? Uh, and I think the answer is very little, because I think the culture is doing that shit that we do to certain artists, man. Like we did it to Michael. Uh, I think we did it to Prince, but like certain artists get whose ego is so fascinating and so seductive to us, and we're just like, I just love that shit so much. I don't know why. We just I just want to see him just do this crazy shit, man. And so let's pump
Yeah.
him up, and we pump him up through this crazy shit, man, until one day we find him, you know, in the fucking toilet, with a bunch of pills around it, you know, and it's like.
Yeah. We
I
we
just
we
don't feel like
continue.
I just feel like we're not doing anything different than what we did to all the other crazy people. Like we
No,
just
I think you're right. I think you're 100% right. And I think with Kanye, I think he knows that he's gone all the way to the left and just totally fell off the cliff. He understands this, but the
you think
problem
so?
is I think he knows it. But here's the problem. But
Okay.
see, Kanye knows this one universal fact about people, and it's just true.
Mm.
Most people are gullible. Most people are not exactly as bright as we give them credit for, and most will follow the crowd. And it's similar to, I think you said, the Black Guy to Tips thing. He went the gospel route because he knows that there's going to be a soft spot to a lot of people in terms of that. Just like he said, when you sing a gospel song on the Apollo, it's hard to boot a person because they're singing about God or Jesus or whatever.
Oh
Hopefully
no,
they
totally, totally. But the
and
question,
hopefully they've changed those rules since then. But however, I think that he knows, like for instance, Joel Osteen is invited Kanye out there to do the Sunday service, and I'm sure other people will do that type of stuff. So that's what Kanye was relying on. And that's what different celebrities in general, they rely on that. They rely on the fact that they know that there's going to be a section of people, and those are the people that's going to carry his record to number one. Because as I look at, I like to crowdsource. So I'm looking at Twitter after the album dropped, and then days and even as early as this morning, just seeing what the reactions are. And I got to tell you, it was scary because, of course, there's a bunch of people, it's trash, it's this, whatever. But there is a large amount of people that are going, yo, this is amazing. I'm bumping this right now. Yo, that On God, that's dope. Or that every hour, that's crazy. Or that. No, I don't hear many people talking about water. Y'all crazy. Anyway, hands on and all of that. I'm hearing people talk about this record
no, no, no.
going the way
Kanye,
it's going.
look,
And I'm going, okay.
Kanye
And
has
it's
a
gonna be number one this week. It
Kanye
will
has a
be number
fan
one.
base. Let's be clear. Kanye has a fan base, right?
Oh yeah.
Kanye could have brought out an album of him farting over 808s, and
Indeed.
everybody would have bought it and would have been like, Kanye crazy as a motherfucker, but I'm pumping that fart shit, you know.
Hey, Scoopity Doo.
Scoopity doo. But I this is a flex. We've seen this before. You and me are grown men. We've seen Michael, and we've seen Michael come out with the record, you know, with all the hot new young producers or whatever doing whatever the fuck he wants to do, and
Right.
everybody being like, I don't know why, but this ain't it. You know, I don't know
Mhm.
why. Like, and then slowly but surely, Mike being like, I'm trying every goddamn thing. Why don't y'all people let me be a superstar again? And then finally comes out, this is it. Kanye putting this, like you said, putting this record out because he knows it'll make people like him. But that's not, there's two types of narcissists. There's dominant narcissists and there's vulnerable narcissists. Dominant narcissists are the motherfuckers that come out, stomp out, and tell people, oh, we gonna do it this way, and it's like this and it's like that.
Right.
Vulnerable narcissists are the ones that show up and be like, I will do anything to make you love me. I will do any. You know what I'm saying? You see the difference? They
Right.
both need to be the
Right.
center of attention, but one of them, and I think Kanye,
Different approaches. Yeah.
yeah, I think Kanye may have started out as a I'm gonna control everything. I'm a dominating narcissist, but I think what he's become is a vulnerable narcissist, and he is chasing after an approval that he will never get enough of. That
Right.
this is a spiral.
Right.
This nothing new comes from this, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's an emotional dead end, pretty much. But
Yeah,
they don't see it that way. To them, it's a highway.
yeah, because right now, yeah, exactly. Well, this is a plateau. He can stay right here, and the 20 to 30% of his fan base that digs Trump, loves Jesus, and has no problem with that shit will rock with Kanye until he dies. But
Yeah.
him as a pop star, as a relevant musical force who's changing culture and influencing and affecting other people musically, done. It's over. It's over.
Yeah.
This album has
Yeah.
no effect on anyone.
Nah.
This album is not influencing anyone's direction. No one is doing anything related to this shit.
Nah, I ain't heard nobody. I ain't heard this blasting out of
No.
nobody's windows when I was riding down the street.
Everyone's gonna enjoy it for what it is,
And
but
then
like
it's
it's
gonna
not
fizzle
gonna,
out.
yeah, it's gonna be a weird fucking Black Elvis record. That's what it is. That's what Kanye is now. He's the Black Elvis.
It's out of control. You
Yeah.
know what? We're gonna go ahead on and pretty much leave it
But
there.
God bless you, brother.
Yeah,
God bless you and prosperity
yeah.
to you.
I got love for Kanye. But what this album basically reaffirmed to me is that Kanye needs to go back to producer Kanye sooner than later. Because from
Yeah.
a production standpoint, yeah, the dude definitely not only
amazing.
still has it, he's killing it. So I think
amazing.
that you should. Yeah, I think you should produce and highlight other people's records
I want to hear
and
the
make
Ant Clemens record.
yeah, I think that Kanye needs
Oh, whatever
to
his name was.
eventually go Quincy Jones. I
Yeah.
just think you need to just be a composer of great sounds, collect your check, and you know put a drop on it.
Only Quincy never went crazy with that Jesus stuff. Quincy always stayed drinking and fucking.
You know he kept it low and kept the hits coming. You gotta love those Quincy's. All right, but and we gotta rank this out. I don't think let's do what do we do? A B C D. Do
Wow. I
five.
give this
We
I
doing?
give it a C minus D plus.
Yeah, I'm on the same vein with you.
Yeah.
Couple highlights, you know. And again, I'm in love with the Sunday Service Choir, but I wished I'd heard more from them. So
Yeah.
that's one of my biggest complaints. How you gonna give me this choir that sings all these remix And I know you can't use those because those were other people's songs, but I'm like, you Kanye West, bro. You got a full choir that can blow. Do you know the possibilities you could have done with that? Imagine Jesus Walk with that choir singing. Anyway, I don't even want to talk about it. We done. All right.
What
So
could have
anyway,
been?
it just wasn't a good album. Let's move along. Star Wars.
Star
We got
Wars
Rise of
The
the Rise of Skywalker. We got the trailer earlier actually Monday Night Football. That was early this week.
Chills.
That was last week. But oh yeah, loved
Chills.
it. Loved it. I love the trailer. I love what's going on. But let's talk about it because since last
I don't
time
know
we
what's
talked
going
about
on
Star
though.
Wars, I know. I'm
Speaking
gonna
of what's
try
going
to.
on, yeah.
You know me. I try to keep up with the tube. I'm a bit of a Star Wars person. I have a new lightsaber I'm bringing to the premiere. I'm that guy. I do
Yes.
that type of thing.
Yes.
Anyway, let's catch him up a little bit. The last time we talked about this was a while back. Like I think the last time we talked about this was Last Jedi.
Yes.
In terms of that. So and then we kind of briefly talked about where we thought it might go in terms of this movie. Well, we were hoping after The Last Jedi we'd have answers to certain questions like who the hell is Snoke? Who's Rey's parents? Why is she so powerful just from, reading a manual? What's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Basically.
She's able to fly ships,
Yeah,
There was just a lot of questions. And The Last Jedi successfully answered absolutely none of those questions.
That's right.
So,
That is right.
in true fashion, they're going to go ahead and milk this out. And The Rise of Skywalker is going to be dropping on December 20th, same day as my son's 20th birthday. Oh my God, I just put that
Yay.
connection together right as we were talking. We must do something special.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so this one is supposed to be the conclusion. We're supposed to
This is it.
basically close out
Into
the
the
whole
9 movies.
Skywalker saga. So in this, we're supposed to know Rey's lineage. We're supposed to know who Snoke is. We're supposed to know all these backstories, and we're supposed to tie all of the movies together into this one climactic film. Now, here's where we are. The word on the street is that we all thought that Rey was Al did potentially a clone in terms of that Clone Wars.
Wow.
I was just like,
that
and
never
then
occurred to me, but okay.
yeah, in The Last Jedi, we had the little, the mirror scene where she saw herself and she says, "Show me my parents." And they didn't show her parents. They just showed a whole bunch more of reflections of herself. That led a lot of us to believe that maybe she is a clone.
Wow,
it's
that's
a
an interesting
clone
speculation.
specifically from Luke Skywalker's hand, which he lost to Class 6.
Wow.
Fought Darth Vader. Cloning is not something that's foreign. We did have the Clone Wars. We had Kamino, which is where all the clones were being put out there. The most famous clone that we love, Boba Fett. So it is not impossible. I thought that
Nothing is
angle might be
impossible.
extremely viable, and it still may be. But the word on the streets is She is the granddaughter of Palpatine. I don't know if this is true, but and of course, Palpatine is coming back. Yes, he did not die
The
in the
Emperor.
Return of the Jedi. That's right. We just went ahead and undid everything. We said, wait a minute, I thought we was done. Nope, he really didn't die. So the Force was never balanced. Luke's whole thing in turning his father back to the light side of the Force was a complete waste of time. And we're gonna go ahead on retcon this whole thing into the new
Not
millennium.
a waste of time. He's a force ghost now who's been helping from the other side of the celestial curtain or something or other. I'm
Yeah,
sure of it. We're gonna see
yeah.
so many fucking force ghosts in
That's
this
what I think.
next.
I think there's going to be like a smorgasbord of Force
It's
ghosts
gonna
all
be
over
like
the
the
place.
sixth sense of Star Wars. I see dead people.
It's going to be a lot of dead people.
One
We've got
thousand percent.
Leia, Ben, Obi-Wan, Anakin, Yoda. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we got a lot of Force ghosts that's going to show up. I mean, it's going to be like Patrick Swayze on steroids.
Yes.
However, um Palpatine being back is it's interesting because you basically kind of, and this is something we had talked about in the past, they kind of introduced the antagonist of Snoke, in which they gave us pretty much no backstory on him, and apparently in this film they're going to go ahead and give us that. But then now they're saying that, well, yeah, forget that guy. We're going to go back to the original guy who started all
Makes
of this.
sense. Makes sense. Snoke
Yeah,
was
look,
always a patsy.
they have to also give you that fan service because the Last Jedi sucked. So they gotta pull out all of the tricks. So I feel like in this movie you're going to get an overwhelming amount of fan service because they really need you to like this movie, or you're not going to get their new streaming service, Disney Plus, that they're trying to put out, or you're going to walk into it with a bad taste in your mouth because a lot of that particular service in terms of the material and content that's coming out on Disney Plus is going to be Star Wars.
It's
We've
true.
got The Mandalorian, we've got Solo, and they're trying to put out some prequels in terms of Kylo Ren. So, Star Wars, in terms of Disney, they have a lot
A lot invested.
riding
Yeah.
on this particular movie not sucking. Your thoughts on the Star Wars universe, sir?
I don't worry about it sucking. It's like a black hole. It has its own gravity. It will bend light towards it in exactly the proportion it needs to be viable. In other words, it's too big to fail. It is the
Yeah.
last in a series of movies which have been being produced since we were both in short pants.
You're not wrong. You're not
Three
wrong.
generations at least of
Yeah.
Americans and people around the world have invested themselves. There are books, Joseph Campbell, anthropologists, scholars the world over who have invested time and energy into extracting meaning from these myth cycles.
Indeed.
So whatever is written, it's not even so much what we're witnessing is not a cinematic moment. It's another installment of cultural scripture, which will have
Uh,
resonance irrespective of its intrinsic value. Do you know what I mean? Like it's no matter what it is, it's gonna lick off because it is what it is. Because it occupies
right.
the space.
It's going to be a conversation piece regardless,
Yeah, and
that,
they got great actors in this shit. They're gonna make the force do shit we ain't never seen it do before. It's gonna hurt a bunch
I,
of fanboys' feelings.
I
It's
agree.
going, and I'm like, why not? The only reason they didn't do that shit in the earlier ones is because the special effects weren't that dope, and all they could
Nope.
do was the force choke. So now they're gonna do all the stuff that they should be able to do with the force, crazy, crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, we're
Um,
going to force stasis, force lightning. We're getting it all, baby.
was
Force
really,
choke.
yeah, force was really crazy. Is to me is Carrie Fisher who
Yeah.
making a posthumous appearance in this film and what that
Yeah, they
means.
used some footage from the Force Awakens for her.
But I'm sure they also use a lot of digital shit, and that's a whole interesting conversation about like now that they can just digitize motherfuckers, they can make you look old, make you look young, just use your likeness. What that means for you know actors and ownership of yourself and all that shit. But anyway,
Yeah.
I think Star Wars is gonna be amazing. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see emo Vader. That's my dude.
Yeah, they're
Fuck
gonna
shit
do
up.
something tricky with Anakin and, or I should say, Hayden
Yeah,
Christensen and the whole. They're gonna do. I think they're gonna do a mashup.
I
You're gonna see like half face, half mask. I think that would be like
I
super
want
hard.
to be more interested in Ren. Uh, like I just want to see something else. Uh, from
He
that
gets on my
character.
nerves. I hear he's gonna die.
Oh no, I meant so not Ren. Who's the
Oh, you
girl?
talking about Ray?
Ray. Sorry, Ray. I want to
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
I feel like right
Ray
now,
is my least favorite
I
character.
just
I think she's boring as hell, to be honest with you.
boring as fucking hell. I mean, like at least Luke Skywalker was petulant. There was
Yeah,
there was something for him to overcome. This she's just perfect. I don't know. She
yeah,
like
and that's and Mary Sue like. I mean, no one wants to hear that, but it's true. I mean, I
Mary
mean, what?
Sue like
Luke got his hand cut off. Anakin got his hand cut off.
Mary Sue. I
All
guess
both
she
of them
is
failed in terms of that. Anakin lost to Dooku. Luke lost to Vader almost twice
right.
until he used Dark Side of the Force and got up in that ass. Whereas this girl has fought a well trained, basically borderline Sith Lord and kicked his ass because he was unbalanced from killing Han, supposedly what Snoke is saying. And so in this one, they're gonna fight again. She ain't gonna kill him. It's just like, and why these two keep fighting and nothing come to it? I
Um,
like, yeah, they
dear
fighting and what? Ain't nobody dying. What the hell?
dear listeners, Al should explain what is a Mary Sue and what does that mean. It is a term which is used in narrative. Do you want to explain?
It can go. Gender is it can go either way because I
Yeah,
forgot
yeah.
the male
It
version
means
of
a
it or whatever.
placeholder. It means a placeholder for the audience's wish fulfillment. It means some
Basically.
shit. Yeah, it basically just means
It means it just a character that basically is, as you said, perfect. That doesn't
yes.
really do anything wrong. They
Superman,
have
guys.
everything that they need.
Yes.
They are Mary Sue or Tommy, whatever the hell the male equivalent of that is. But again, my biggest issue with Ray is that she, in my opinion, maybe in this film she'll show she's earned nothing. I mean, she
Yes.
basically based upon the novelization, she downloaded Ren's powers in terms of that, in addition to what she already had. And apparently, she's able to do all these magnificent things
Well, she did
with
train
little to
on.
no
She did train
instruction.
with the milk, with the blue milk cows, right? Didn't
Well,
she?
she had trained with the blue milk cows with Luke,
Yeah.
for which she got like 3, maybe 4 lessons from Luke, and now she's like a Jedi Knight. She's gone through none of the pain that the other characters in her position went through, and I have an issue with that. I won't say it's because she's a woman. I just think it's for whatever reason they just feel like this particular main character of Star Wars is just going to take a different path, and I feel like, and what George Lucas said is it's poetry, so it's supposed to be something that basically kind of mirrors the other incarnations of the show,
Mm.
and she doesn't. She goes absolutely left
Yeah.
field, whereas they had to earn it and go through different stages. Like you saw Luke as a young farm boy kid, and then you saw him in Empire Strikes Back, where he was a little bit more trained, but he wasn't quite able to control it yet. And then in Return of the Jedi, he was that dude.
I think
But it
yeah,
took
and
three movies for him to get there. She got there in like one.
I know I resonate with that because I feel like what you saw with Luke was that Luke was humiliated every step of the way on his journey. Like
Absolutely.
every time he tried to do something, he got pawned. He got sunned. And with Ray, it's like it's obviously we understand what's going on with Me Too. We understand that this is a moment where women are we're celebrating women and women
It's your
power,
time, baby, to shine.
right?
It's
But like in a way, like you don't. It's hard to imagine what the opposite would be like. Like what would they cut off of Ray's by now?
yeah, I thought she should have lost a hand. I thought she's. It's just like, honestly, ask this question of anyone who doubts the whole Mary Sue thing or thinks it's just something we're just doing. Where has she failed?
Right. How has she suffered? How is
How has
exactly
she right?
how is
How
she?
has she suffered?
Yeah,
She
yeah,
got a small scar on the top of her forehead from Snoke hitting her in the head with the lightsaber in the throne room.
right.
That's as deep as it's gotten.
Yeah, 100%. I'm 100% with you. I don't know what
Yeah,
I no longer the only dramatic tension I feel. Honestly, the most dramatic tension I feel is around Ren and Luke Skywalker, who's now gone.
right.
But he was amazing. I thought that was an amazing showing in the last movie. But whatever.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So, anyways, I'm excited and I can't wait to see what it's going to be. But I know it's going to be amazing either way because it has to be.
There you go. I'm on the same page. I think it's going to be good. We'll see what the culture thinks about it overall.
Yeah.
I don't know. Star Wars fans have kind of been split down the middle since the Last Jedi. So
That's at times. That's at times.
it is, but it's still going to make its money it needs to make anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go see it. Hopefully y'all see it too. We're going to talk about it, all that good stuff. Another great
Yes.
show, man. We did it.
Woo!
We did it, man. We did another one, man. Tell the people where they can find you and all that kind of good stuff.
This is it,
And what you
guys.
got
I don't
going
know.
on in your life.
This is all you can find me at right now. Me and Mel are taking a break from Woke with Kids. We will definitely get back at it at some point. But
Okay.
we're taking a breather to just be parents for a minute. And in the meantime, listen to
Let's
my
go.
music, I guess. I'm on SoundCloud and all the other things, and I make music. I got a song out now
Called
called
Clap.
Clouds. It's a great
And
song.
the visuals on it is absolutely great.
Yeah.
And the song itself is magnificent. Go
Thank you.
check out Clouds on
Yeah.
SoundCloud
SoundCloud. Oh, you know what?
with
It's
my brother.
everywhere now. It should be on Spotify and iTunes and all that stuff. So just look up Clouds and then Yaze Vincent, and there you go. So
I did not know it was on the tunes. I'm gonna go ahead on and
that's
get
right.
you
I'm a
that.
big boy now. I can just like I can
I
release
see.
stuff
I'm gonna
now.
go ahead
Yeah,
and
I'm just
get you that
releasing.
download, bro. I got your back, man. I got you. All right, cool.
Appreciate you.
Well, for myself, you can definitely find me on my Instagram, Algernon's October. You can find me on Twitter, AlDiddy1712. In terms of We Come From Bad News, you can find us everywhere. You can listen to podcasts from your Spotify's to your iHeartRadios to, of course, SoundCloud,
Facts.
iTunes. Everywhere you listen to podcasts, we're there. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We appreciate everybody continuing to support, to comment, and everything like that. Y'all Facebook people are off the chain too,
Crazy.
by the way.
Wow.
And much love to Big O and everybody else that's a part of the Village Podcast
Network.
Yeah, you got Big O, got some merch out there right now. Make sure y'all go ahead and support
Scoop it up. I gotta get
and all
some.
of that. Yeah, we got. I told him I'm gonna put them on. In fact, I'm gonna put them on here soon.
Yeah,
So
we gotta wear
either
them
way, man,
next
support our
episode.
people. And we got our own. We got to get together
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
we gonna do that too.
I got the ball rolling a little bit, but we got more work to do on that. So anyway, people, it's been a pleasure as always. We appreciate y'all. Listen, subscribe. I'm gonna put this out on YouTube, and I'm also put some snippets on Instagram. Let's go.
Boom. Peace.
Peace.